Okay, hi everybody. It's 1 o'clock again, and it's time for the webinar. So most of you know that my name is Matt. I'm the president of Galaxy Marketing Solutions. And it's my pleasure and honor to bring you these webinars every week. The whole spirit of it is to just relay the know-how and knowledge that I've been able to gather just by overseeing lots of marketing campaigns and just my own studies. I kind of like am voraciously study about marketing all the time. And I just want to share that with you because it really creates a team atmosphere. The more you know, the better we can work together and the better your own marketing goes, whatever actions you're doing all on your own. So that's the spirit of this whole thing. So with that, I want to get started, and I'm actually really excited about this week because we're going to launch into one of the mother of all subjects in marketing, which is your website. It's a huge subject, but what I'm going to cover this time is just the core things that really need to be on your site in order to get this thing really performing and working for you, okay? So here we go. The subject is websites that work. So have you ever gone to a website that you were just kind of like underwhelmed by?
Yeah.
This webinar is like the anti of that. You know, this is everything you need to know so that that doesn't happen. So why a good website matters. If you just want to get a sense of how big the web has grown in 20 years, in 1994, there were fewer than 3,000 websites online. By 2014, there were more than 1 billion websites. That represents a 33 million% increase in 20 years. That is nuts. And that's from Adrien Lafrance from theatlantic.com. So, you know, these kind of numbers are almost like how many stars are there in the sky. You know, they're huge numbers, but it's important to know because obviously the internet is huge. So with respect to standing out online, this is a site you can visit if you so choose. Your head is going to swim if you go to this site. It's internetlivestats.com, and this is just a screenshot from that, but basically these numbers are constantly moving and increasing when you go to the site. And so the internet users in the world, the total number of websites, the emails sent today, Google searches today, blog posts written today, tweets sent today, and more, look kind of like the stock market numbers. You know, they just keep going up and up and up and up and up. So that the actual numbers of people engaging on the internet is kind of like, it's mind-blowing, right? The good news is that your audience's attention is glued to the internet, and you can reach them there. Further good news is a well-designed website will function as a 24/7 salesman for you. And that, you know, the main point I want to make in today's internet age is that your website is your headquarters on the internet, and it is the home base of all of your marketing actions. So it's really important, and it's really important this thing gets set up well. And I think I've said before, when we sign somebody up for a campaign, let's say a postcard campaign, we always check their website because it's in everyone's best interest that everything be set up and coordinated because the website forms such a key element to the whole marketing process. And here's just an illustration, right? So these are some common marketing responses just out of my own experience in talking to people. So if they get your postcard, they go to your website. If they get your Care to Share card, they go to your website. If they see your office sign, they will go to your website. If they hear about you from a friend, they will go to your website. If they see your Google ad, they will go to your website. If they find you in the search results, they'll click through to your website. If they're looking for a new doctor, they're going to go to your website. If they heard good things about you, they'll go to your website, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you get my point. I mean, this is probably, you know, a high percentage of people, like I wouldn't be surprised if it's 90%, follow this basic pattern. So you see how, like, the website is a real clincher. All roads lead to your website. And when someone arrives to your site, you need to grab their attention, spark their emotions, and give them all the data they need to make a decision in seconds. And just as a note, that's kind of where I've seen websites fall down, is that they don't really have all the core stuff that you need to have on your homepage to really engage the person, fire up their emotions a bit and give them the data they need and tell them what to do. Some element is missing there, and so that website is going to lose its conversion power, and we don't want that. So let's walk through all the things that you ought to have. So here's a website that we did. This is for Dr. Walden Yu, and he's a pediatric dentist. And it's just a very charming site. But you can see if you really look at it, it's got a lot of core elements here. It's got, kids. Everybody loves kids. They'll melt your heart totally. So it's got a great picture of kids. It has a survey button there. Healthy teeth plus healthy gums equal healthy kids. So that's all based upon surveys that he did of his patients. And then the new patient special is very prominent right there. You can click right through to it. $50 off the first visit. There's a whole welcome. It gives you the key contact information. And so, you're really set to go. You can arrive at this home page. There's a surge of emotion that comes from it. There's a survey button that will capture your attention. It delivers the message of the new patient special. And this is a website that really works well for the doctor. It's really on the job, engaging people and driving them in. Here's some other elements that are really important, right? So, if you take, there's certain companies out there in the world that are just stand head and shoulders above others as far as just how finely tuned their marketing is, and just kind of how beautiful it is and how beautifully it's done. And one of the key examples is Apple. And they're just so coordinated. Everything they put out, everything is coordinated from one thing to another, whether it's their website, whether it's an ad, whether it's a print ad. You can immediately recognize the font of Apple, the simple style of it. It's just, it's like the simple, sophisticated thing that comes across. And so, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from just observing Apple's marketing. And one of the things that's really important is to have a unified message out to the world. So, for example, this is our friend Dr. Gibbs. To the left, you can see those are his postcards. Number one, he got killer photos done. That's actually him, that's actually his staff. And he invested the time to get some really nice photos done. And there's almost whenever it's possible to get a real photo done of the real people, I would say go for it. You can even, this is something you could use Groupon for. Usually there's photo packages that you can get a real nicely discounted photo package. And then you actually get shots of the real people because, nothing really arouses the emotions like the real people at the office and seeing that they're happy and seeing their pride and so forth. It really communicates. And then to the right, that's his website. And you can see that his new patient special is right on the site, and it corresponds to his postcards. So it's like a unified message out to the public. So they'll get a person will probably get 2, 3, 4 postcards that keep pounding home this, new patient special of exam, x-ray, and cleaning for $89. And then they want to check them out a little bit more, so they go to the website, and his message is further repeated on the website. Yes, we're doing the new patient offer. It's exam, x-rays, and cleaning, and it is $89. And set the appointment. Click, and boom, you got somebody. But it's that repetition of the message and having it coordinated between your postcard campaign and also the website. So it's a professional thing that really gets the results. He actually did the same for his Care to Share program, which is really great. So, we just put his the files for his Care to Share cards. We put them right on the website, and then he actually has there's a form you can fill out and send in of hey, this is my friend Joe, and I'm Matt, and I'm referring him over to you, and it's all set up right on the internet so that it's very easy to comply. The whole point of once you get guys to your website, you want to make it really, really easy for them to find the data and then to comply. So to have a nice form where they can just plug in the information and send it, this is really ideal. Then the other thing I mentioned before is the use of survey buttons. This is very often missing from websites, and it's actually a really core piece of the marketing technology that I've talked about before. But the thing about the buttons is what they do is they attract the attention. They get somebody paying attention, so that the door is open for you to deliver the message you want to deliver. But before you deliver your message, you first have to get them paying attention, right? And so that's accomplished by getting the surveys done and then tabulating those and putting the results up on, we like to put it right where you see it. This is the slideshow portion of the website. And this will typically cycle through a number of different nice photographs that show the demographics of your area, the type of people that live in your area. And then we make sure to put the survey buttons right on each slide. So this one is clear communication with our patients is important. And that's definitely something that comes up in the survey results. Like, I want a clear communication with my doctor. I want to know exactly what to expect. I want to know exactly what treatment I'm getting done. I want to know exactly what I'm paying for. And that's huge. That's a huge button for people. So it's bang, it's right on the home page. And that'll get people paying attention, and they're going to want to find out more. So that's a really important point about the surveys. Now here's another one. This is more on the art side of it, which is like you want to strike their emotions, right? This is really an important thing. You may have heard this datum of, people buy on their emotions and justify it after the fact with logic. It's basically people get wound up and excited about something, and it's really what causes them to decide to do it is really an emotional subject, Like they envision what their life would be like if they had their teeth straightened out, or they felt more confident, about their oral health and their smile, or, something moves them emotionally, and that's what actually will cause the final, I'm going to do it to happen. Then kind of after the fact, they will kind of discuss with themselves like, it makes good sense that I decided to go to that doctor because of these very logical reasons. He's only, he's just a couple miles away. My friend Joni goes to him. He has been in practice for 10 years. That's when the logic comes in to kind of explain after the fact the emotional purchasing decision that was made. And so a major way to rouse the emotions is like beautiful images and beautiful photography. So, as regards this, like, feel free to melt people's hearts, like melt away, because it's very powerful. And there's no, it's perfectly fine to show your happy people or images of happy people or your happy staff. Happy staff in particular is one of the most potent marketing tools you can use. That is a real high-level form of marketing, you could say, or persuasion, or however you want to say it. So nice images of your happy staff and how they like to be there and they love their job and they love their coworkers, that's really good. Or just, you can get great stock photography too. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you can also get some nice photos of your actual patients if they're cool with that. But you want to show that emotional joy and satisfaction because it's super important. It's nice to look at. All right, so here's one. This is also from Dr. Wu. Confident kid, confident smile. Okay, the other thing that sometimes is just missing from websites is, you wouldn't think this would happen, but it's kind of like hard to find stuff, like really basic stuff, like where are you? Sometimes this is actually buried back into the website, like many pages back, it'll be like contact us or something like that. You've probably seen this. That's like way too far back. You still have to keep in the fundamental ideas of marketing, which is like you've probably got the guy's attention. You have to at least think that, okay, I've got this person's attention for seconds. I have to deliver everything they're going to want to know about on the home page. Like, people are not necessarily going to click back and back and back to try to find out how to find you or what your hours are, You want to make your new patient special and your contact info very easy to find, including all the basic stuff like your hours, et cetera, et cetera. Then, you also want to repeat your message within your website. So this is the website of Dr. Peter Benish, our friend, and basically we put the new patient special, on various pages throughout the website. So it just keeps reiterating, hey, we've got this great special, it's only $99. You should just come in and check us out and get your teeth cleaned and meet the staff, etc. So you actually, within the website, you want to keep repeating the message of your new patient special. Then you also want to promote your public relations. And I've talked a bit about public relations. This is making your good works well known. By good works, we mean charitable actions. These are things that the doctor and the staff do because out of their heart. You know, they're not asking for anything in return, and it's actually their give back to the community or whatever cause they like. And I mean, not only is public relations just a good thing for the world, but it is actually senior and comes before marketing, because it establishes a connection of, like, I like this person as a person. Like, I like the character of this person. You know, before we even get into how many years he spent in dental school or chiropractic school or what have you, I like the character of this person, and I see that he cares about people, even above and beyond his profession. So this is kind of a fun picture of Dr. Wu, and he's basically at a fundraiser, you know, and this was done with MGE Management, nationwide groups, and dental practices to support the Boys and Girls Club in the fight against illiteracy, which is totally great, right? So you want to showcase that stuff on your website too, because it warms people up to the doctor and what he's all about, very much so. And just another thing on that, if you're already engaged in public relations actions, the definition of public relations is good works well known or good works well publicized, which means that if you're already doing this stuff, you need to have somebody there who's like snapping pictures of it and taking video of it, because that footage is like gold, you know? And it's not like, you know, I've encountered a few people that kind of wanted to be very downplay their charitable actions, or thought that maybe it was in bad taste to take pictures of it, or like, you know, it's not about that, or I think you know what I mean. But the thing is that there's nothing wrong with, I mean, these are things that the doctor actually does. You know, these are legitimate actions, and they're noteworthy. You know, and they're positive. And honestly, the world needs positive stuff. You know, the world needs it needs good news and people who care and who are out there doing good things. And it's not in bad taste or whatever. And then additionally, whatever cause it is that the doctor likes, that cause itself will get some attention, and so it'll further that purpose. So there's definitely nothing wrong with documenting the charitable actions that the doctor and the staff take, and indeed, like, do it. You know, do it and get it up on your site and get it out on your social media, and just splurge on it and have fun. All right. So the other really core thing about a website, and it's something I've been talking about, and myself, I've been really waking up to the fact of the power of reviews, and I've done whole webinars on the subject. But reviews are the modern digital word of mouth. And whereas word of mouth, you know, in the earlier days of this country and elsewhere, word of mouth was very powerful in small towns or even big towns. You know, it's what people said to one another about a company or about a doctor or whatever was really powerful and would really affect the traffic flow into that guy's office or whatever. So now it's very much on steroids with the advent of the internet, because, you know, I can post something that says, man, I was so pleasantly surprised by this doctor. Let me tell you my story. And I write a paragraph, and like that will now immediately get broadcast out to a lot of people. You know, potentially millions of people, certainly thousands right in your area. And it's what's known in the marketing world as social proof, and it's in many cases kind of the final element that will actually cause someone to go ahead and make the decision to go ahead and try something. You know, if maybe people have gotten a little bit jaded on like marketing and like, well, everyone's going to say they're great and this and that. You know, if someone's got a little bit jaded on the subject of marketing, then it's the reviews, legitimate reviews, which will be the final clincher of like, well, I guess what he's saying in his marketing really is true, because look at all these happy people. So, okay, I'll do it. So you really want your reviews well showcased on your homepage. And the other thing I will say, you know, as far as what people most often look for, they look for reviews. They also want a nice picture of the doctor. Just to reiterate that, they want to know, what does this guy look like? And if there's a nice picture of the doctor on there, who he looks like a real guy or she looks like a real woman, like a normal person who just looks like a nice person who you could have a real conversation with, that will go a very long way. So we always include a nice picture of the doctor, not in scrubs or with dental tools or other medical tools or whatever, but just a nice normal picture and in nice clothes, just looking really friendly and like a regular person, and then a short biography underneath the picture. So that the person can see, okay, well, this person went to good schools, they obviously know what they're doing, they look nice. And I've had people tell me, yeah, I got this postcard and I went to the website and I just wanted to look at the doctor and he looked nice, so I called in. We're talking about like something very gut level and primitive. If the guy looks nice, she looks friendly, great, I'll do it. So if there's no picture of the doctor or the picture of the doctor is buried in some other page, that's a problem. And that goes back to the homepage really has to hit with all the data a person is going to need and all the imagery. So, I've talked to people where they're like, well, we have nice pictures of the staff. It's buried like 4 pages back in the Meet the Staff page or in the About Us page. And it's actually too buried. It has to be instant gratification. At least a nice picture of the doctor right on the home page and a short little bio about him right on the home page so the person can see. And then kind of further on this emotional point, you want to make people feel warmly welcomed. So this is more about Dr. Wu. Hey, welcome. And there's a nice write-up here. We emphasize a team approach consisting of child, parents, dentists, and staff. So your child's dental experience will be rewarding, informative, and long-lasting. We have an open-door policy in which the parent may accompany their child as an observer during the dental visit or as a participant as the occasion arises. So kind of like right up front, they address any of the potential concerns of the parents, and it's like, you're welcome here. We know the drill on pediatric dentistry, and you should come in. So that is really kind of the core points of what you want on your home page. You want to provide all the key data and great genuine emotion. And this picture isn't necessarily about dentistry or other healthcare, but it's just a beautiful shot of 2 sisters, so I wanted to include it. But it's like, man, the warmth coming off of that picture is like very powerful. And I'm sure you can feel it too when you look at it. So it does something to you, like it raises people up, and it raises them up. I don't know how else to say it. And it warms your heart, and it makes you engage and really feel good about what you're looking at. So if you provide all the key data and great genuine emotion, your site will really communicate and bring people in. And that's the point I wanted to make today. So how's all that? Are there any questions about what we just went over? Awesome.
We're actually in the process of having someone create a new website for us right now.
Yeah.
So, these were all things that I went over with him as well. So. Good.
Okay, that's super good. Yeah, and just that point of like you want to make it very easy for people to comply. So like the online forms, like whatever can be accomplished online. So when someone, like you could say to the person, hey, we look forward to seeing you next week. Meanwhile, you can go to our website and fill in the online form and send it in, and that'll get the ball rolling. Anything like that can like make the whole process easier and save time for the patient when they come in. They don't have to sit there and fill out a bunch of stuff because they already did it when they had a minute at home. Anything like that will totally work in your favor. And whoever's developing your website should know what they need to install, like whatever secure, widget or whatever they need to install to make that happen. Mm-hmm. One example of that is like Amazon. Like it's actually a little bit scary how easy it is to buy stuff. I don't know if you use Amazon, but it's actually kind of frightening, how quickly I can buy something on Amazon. Like this, one-click purchase or whatever, and like, holy cow, I just bought something. Or, it happens very fast, and that's a good example of how they've made it so easy to comply that when a person has like a glimmer of interest, or even 33% interest, it's so easy to comply that the next thing they know they've already done it and it's over, So I just wanted to add that, like whatever, as you're building your site and working with your website team, whatever can be done to make those compliances super easy is totally going to work in your favor.
Mm-hmm.